Imagine you are standing in a garden with 10 dying trees. In your hand, you hold only one small cup of water. You run back and forth, desperately trying to sprinkle a few drops on each trunk, hoping they will all turn green again. But what is the reality? By the end of the day, your cup is bone dry, your legs are exhausted, and all 10 trees are dead. Does that feel like your life right now? You're trying to do it all. Build a career, maintain every social connection, pursue 5 different hobbies, and learn 3 languages at once. Society celebrates the multitasker. They tell you that you can have it all, but they lied to you. Trying to water an entire forest with a single cup of water isn't effort. It's a death sentence for your greatness. Let me tell you about Thomas. Thomas was the definition of an energetic, talented man in Chicago. He owned a software startup, was learning piano, joined a running club, and never missed a networking event to expand his reach. Thomas's phone never stopped buzzing. His schedule was packed from 5 a.m. to 11 p.m. He took pride in his busyness. He believed he was optimizing his life. But after 5 years, Thomas realized a painful truth. His company was stagnant, his piano playing was mediocre, and his social connections were nothing more than shallow handshakes. He felt like a Swiss Army knife, capable of doing everything, but not sharp enough to cut through anything. Thomas was burnt out. He was standing in his garden, and everything was dying. Following a friend's advice, Thomas sought out a master bonsai artist named Master Kaito. Kaito's garden was unlike anything Thomas had ever seen. It didn't have thousands of colorful flowers. It was a pure white, minimalist space flooded with sunlight. In the center stood a single bonsai tree, regal, powerful, and radiating an ancient soul. Thomas poured his heart out. "Master, I've given my all. I've done everything possible. Why haven't I reached greatness? Why is my life so exhausting and incomplete?" Master Kaito looked at Thomas, then pointed to the 10 small pots Thomas had brought with him, the projects and passions Thomas couldn't bear to let go of. The master handed Thomas a hammer and said, "If you want the tree in the center to live and become a masterpiece, you must smash the other 9 pots. Right now." Thomas was horrified. "Smash them? But they have potential. I've invested so much time in them." Master Kaito replied calmly, "Potential is the enemy of greatness. Every pot you keep is a leak in your water jar. You cannot grow a giant oak if your water is leaking into weeds. For one thing to become great, the others must die." Thomas's hand trembled as he held the hammer. He looked at the side business, the piano, the glittering event invitations. He felt like he was cutting off pieces of himself. But then he looked back at Kaito's bonsai, the stillness, the power, the absolute beauty of it. He realized that his having it all was actually a flight from making a choice. Crack. The first pot shattered, then the second, the third. With every sound of breaking clay, Thomas felt a sharp sting, followed by a strange sense of liberation. The heavy burden on his shoulders began to lift. When the 9th pot was gone, only one tree remained. Master Kaito smiled. "Now you have enough water for it." Thomas's story is a lesson for all of us about strategic subtraction. Greatness requires deliberate imbalance. The most successful people in the world aren't those who manage their time to do more. They are the ones most ruthless about quitting good things to focus on the only thing. Look at how energy works. You have 100 units of energy every day. If you divide it among 10 projects, each gets only 10 units, not enough to create a breakthrough. But if you pour all 100 units into a single goal, you will pierce through any barrier. That is why focus isn't a skill, it's a sacrifice. How do you implement the law of strategic sacrifice in your life? Identify your bonsai tree. What is the one thing that, if successful, would make everything else irrelevant or easier? Is it your primary career? Your health? A core relationship? Be honest. Don't choose what society wants. Choose what you are willing to die for. Create a kill list. Don't just make a to-do list. Make a not-to-do list. List every nice-to-have project, every shallow social obligation, every hobby that consumes time without real value, and then have the courage to smash them. Don't promise, don't delay. Quit today. Accept the cruelty. You will feel guilty. You will feel FOMO. You will feel bad for the people you turn down. But remember Master Kaito's words, the pain of smashing is the price of a masterpiece. Being kind to too many things is being cruel to your greatest potential. Thomas went back to Chicago. He closed the side projects, declined the unnecessary parties, and even put the piano in storage. He poured his entire intellect and 16 hours a day into a software company. 3 years later, that company didn't just succeed. It changed an entire industry. Thomas was no longer busy. He worked less, but was 1,000 times more effective. He stood in his minimalist, sun-drenched office, and for the first time in his life, he felt the peace of a winner. Don't be a dull Swiss Army knife. Be a diamond drill focused on a single point until you break through every limit. The world will try to pull you in every direction. It will tempt you with sparkling potentials. But you are the gatekeeper of your cup of water. Be ruthless with distractions. Be brave enough to quit, because only when you let the mediocre things die can greatness finally begin to live. Thank you for watching Ethan Spire Stories.